Welcome back to Vuln Vibes, everyone. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something that I bet most of you have in your homes, but probably don't think about too often. Routers.
Oh, yeah. Routers are definitely one of those things that we kind of set and forget.
Exactly. But, with all the devices we connect these days, they're kind of a big deal when it comes to our security. And specifically today, we're looking at some vulnerabilities that have popped up in ASUS routers.
Right. We're talking about CVE 2024-12912 and CVE 2024-13062.
Those are some catchy names.
Well, they are unique. I'll give them that. But in all seriousness, these vulnerabilities could let someone take control of your router remotely.
So this is more than just someone, stealing your Wi-Fi and slowing down your Netflix. This is like someone getting into the control panel.
Yeah, exactly. They could do all sorts of things, like changing your password, spying on your data, even taking over your whole network. It's not good.
Okay, so not something to take lightly. And I see these vulnerabilities have a CVSS score of 7.2, which puts them in the high severity category.
Yep, that's right.
Can you break that down for us? What does a 7.2 actually mean for the average person?
Sure. So the CVSS score basically tells you how bad a vulnerability is. It looks at how easy it is to exploit and how much damage it could cause. A 7.2 means it's relatively easy for an attacker to take advantage of this flaw, and the impact could be pretty serious.
Okay, so definitely not something to ignore.
Mm.
So what's the most important thing people can do to protect themselves?
The number one thing is to update your firmware. ASUS has released patches that fix these vulnerabilities.
Okay, so update. Which firmware versions should people be looking for?
You'll want to make sure you have either version 3.0.44386 or 3.0.4388 or anything in the 3.0.0.6102 series.
Got it. But let's say someone's listening to this and they can't update right this second. What are some things they can do to at least minimize the risk until they can get to a computer?
Well, the first thing you can do is make sure you have a strong and unique password for both your Wi-Fi and your router's admin panel.
Yeah, and I mean a really strong password,
Yeah.
not just password 123.
Exactly. Think random combinations of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols.
I think we all have that one embarrassing password we've been using for years because it's the only one we can remember.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a good excuse to finally change it.
Absolutely. It's time to break up with that old password.
All right, what else?
You should also make sure you have password protection enabled on iCloud if you're using it.
Remind me what iCloud is again.
It's ASUS's cloud service that lets you access files stored on your router's hard drive from anywhere. Basically like your own personal cloud storage.
Oh, right. Okay. Makes sense to lock that down, too. Anything else?
The last thing is to disable any external services that you're not using, like remote access port forwarding, DDNS, VPN servers, DMZ, and FTP.
Wow, that's a lot of acronyms.
I know, right? But basically, these services can create openings that an attacker could potentially exploit. So if you're not actively using them, it's best to just turn them off.
So kind of like locking all the doors and windows, even if you think you live in a safe neighborhood.
Exactly. It's all about minimizing risk.
So this whole situation really emphasizes the importance of regular security checks. Not just for our computers and phones, but for our routers, too.
Absolutely. We tend to forget about them because they just sit there quietly doing their thing. But they're the gateway to our entire home network, so we need to make sure they're secure.
Well said. And that actually brings up a bigger point. What about all the other devices in our homes that are connected to the internet? Smart TVs, smart appliances, security cameras, all of these things could have similar vulnerabilities.
That's a really important point. We need to start thinking about security for all of our devices, not just the obvious ones. It's a connected world out there, and everything is a potential target.
So true. Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap things up here. Big thanks to you for taking this deep dive with us.
My pleasure.
And to everyone listening, stay safe out there and keep those routers updated. We'll catch you next time on Vuln Vibes.